side by side till we cross the finish line. Oh, the love we have is real.
Hello, my people.
Hello, my people.
Yeah, welcome back to another video, my people. Today we are going to be doing how we met.
Yes.
Okay. We figure it's only right because you guys watch us all the time, and a lot of people always constantly wanting to ask. This way we'll have this video and we could just link it and you guys can just go straight to it and watch it in the future for any new subscribers, or if you just don't know how we met. We did talk about this in the past, but you know, it's been a very frequent thing that we've been getting constant questions on, so we're just gonna make sure that we have a video talking about it where you guys can just go straight to it and watch it if you're new, and this video would be it. So yeah, I guess what we could do, we could go ahead and tell our side of the story.
Yeah.
I could go ahead, I guess.
Yeah,
well, let's see, my people. By the way, I'm Jas.
I'm John.
Okay, in case y'all don't know our names or whatever. So my side of the story, I really just, so we met online.
Yes.
John and I met online. We're not going to give the name of where we met, the specific, but just know that we met online, just for privacy reasons. We're not going to state. But yeah, so John and I met online. Me personally, I was just going online just because I was bored. Of course, I always got hit on. I always had guys like trying to talk to me out in the streets and stuff like that. That's a constant. I still get that up to this day even. But I don't know, I guess I wanted to try something new. And it was, like I said, it was just more like a fun thing. I didn't really, I don't know. I guess I don't know if I was expecting to really meet anyone on there. And when I made my account or whatever, when I went on there, it was more just, I just made the account, then I got off, and he just so happened to message me. He messaged me. By the way, I never messaged anybody. I never I never holler at guys, if that's what they call it now. I never like approach, I never approach men. Men approach me. I'm so old-fashioned in that sense. I just feel like that's how it should be, but again, that's just my opinion, and that's just how I look at things. So even though I was online, the concept still existed where, you know, if you want to talk to me, you're gonna have to be the one to make that first move. I won't make that first move. So I guess, you know, John, you know, I guess that's where it kind of happened. There was nothing really magical or anything really special. I was just online. I was just kind of bored, and I just decided to go online and made an account, and and that's so. I mean,
we started talking. I mean, we talked for a few weeks.
Yeah, it was a few weeks
before we got a date set up to go out and go on a date. It was, I don't know. It was, you have a lot of issues online when you go date, when you try to find someone online. It's, for every one real person, there's a fake. There's people that make fake profiles. They just do a whole bunch of crap. So I honestly didn't believe she was real at first. She was almost too good to be true. So I think that was like one of my first questions I asked you. Are you real?
I don't remember.
I think that was, I'm almost sure it was one of my first questions. Is this actually a real profile? But after we first, met each other and actually talked, exchanged numbers, we started talking, and long nights on the phone. I gotta tell you, I fell asleep numerous times while I was on the phone.
And he still falls asleep on me till this day.
There's nothing.
Nothing has changed. Yeah, so we would talk for hours.
And just about the day.
Just about the day.
Each other, talking.
Just random things, you know. It was fun. I just getting to know the person that you're, and I feel like that's really cool too, because nowadays I don't feel like too much of that happens. Although I feel like there's a lot more questions we could have asked each other, but we got to know each other. We got to know each other
You know, that's how you get to know each other and how you build a relationship is by asking questions, and you figure more out as you get to know the person, and the more and more you learn, the more and more you grow to love this person, and the more and more you care about them, and that's kind of how things happen.
Yeah.
First date.
Oh yeah, our first date. Our first date. Nothing special.
No.
You want to tell them?
It was interesting. We decided to go to a movie. I picked her up from her place in the town there in the cities, and we went to this little movie theater. It was off of what was that? Rudolph?
I don't know.
It was something like that. Some weird street. It was just some.
Honestly, we didn't. It was weird. So what's the word?
Yeah,
it was
very spontaneous.
Yeah, it was a very spontaneous deal. We didn't. He didn't plan anything up to this day. He's not much of a planner. He doesn't plan. So it was nothing. It was nothing planned. He just kind of picked me up, and we just kind of figure out what it was that we both wanted to do, you know. Because I mean, I guess when we spoke, when we messaged each other back and forth, and even when we spoke on the phone, you were asking me like, where should we go? And he needs to work on his planning, my people.
I like to be spontaneous, more or less. I don't like to plan things. I like to just kind of fly by my seat in my pants.
And that's where me and him are different. Like
She's a big planner. She wants everything planned.
I want to plan. I want to know. I want to know.
Big time.
So I'm a planner. I'm a big planner. But you know, I don't mind being spontaneous either. So yeah. I mean, the first date
we went to a little tiny.
No, tell them no. We drove around.
Yeah.
I think
we drove around for a while until I Googled it.
I think it even started raining.
No. It was a beautiful day. It was a sunny, gorgeous sunny day.
Yeah. So we drove around. It was
cold though.
We eventually found a place.
Yep.
And we chose this little old small.
It was like an old school theater, like for how do you call it? Like stage theater, turned into a movie theater screen area. Like they put a screen up where the stage would be, and it was just this tiny little hole in the wall theater, and they played. What was the movie? Can you remember?
I can't remember, y'all. I can never remember this movie. Only John. I wasn't even paying attention to this movie because the movie, I was just trying to get to know more about him, and I feel like maybe the movie, looking back on it.
I didn't watch the movie at all.
Looking back on it, no, he was more focused on me.
Yep.
Looking back on it, and we're not gonna get into that. he was more focused on me.
I was focused on her.
He was focused on me. But you know, looking back on it, I feel like we should have maybe went somewhere quieter.
Yeah.
And just kind of sat down, talked. I like that kind of setting. Now, anyways, that I'm older, instead of going to the movies, because you don't really get to sit down, really get to know the person.
And it would have been probably a lot better if just got to dinner.
Yeah, and dinner and just sat down and just talked. But it was still good. It was something different. It's a little weird, but it was good.
Well, the movie, guys, was Queen Elizabeth.
And then the nice thing is that we first got to.
Still remember.
Oh yeah, he still remembers. The nice thing.
Gotta remember the first date.
I don't remember. It's not that I don't remember the first day. I don't remember that movie. Okay, my people. I just don't remember the movie.
I remember everything about the first
There's
date.
so much that's going on in our lives right now, especially with me. It's hard for me to keep up with little things like that, unfortunately. But what was I saying? I don't remember. Now we're just talking.
Well, that's what this is about, isn't it?
I guess so. We're just talking.
This is how it is, like a day-to-day basis, guys.
Pretty much. This is us. We're just real, you know.
Yep.
We're so real. I don't know. I forgot what I was saying, my people. But yeah, you know, I don't really remember, and like I said, we have so much going on. But what else? What else we want to? I don't know.
Anything else you want to share about our?
I mean,
how we met relationship wise.
I don't know. Is there anything else you would like to share? I can't really. People. I don't know.
You know, it was nothing like we didn't meet anywhere spectacular. We didn't meet like it wasn't like oh our friends set us up or nothing. No, we literally did everything ourselves. We figured everything out and we picked each other out. Really, we did.
I didn't pick you out. You picked me out.
I picked her, but she accepted. So.
You picked me out. Okay. Honestly, let me say this. We could go back to when you first picked me up. When I first saw you, honestly, he wasn't my type, but he was somebody else. After speaking to him for like many weeks and stuff, I was just like, oh my gosh, he seems to have a really good heart. He's really down to earth. Seems like a really great guy. But yeah, when I first met him, definitely not my type. But
far cry from the guys she's used to.
It doesn't.
Even my vehicle at the time.
No, your vehicle was alright.
Came rolling up in my loud big truck.
It wasn't loud.
Yeah, it was. It
wasn't
exhaust.
loud.
Yeah. I can't even remember the movie. We didn't have that truck very long.
I don't feel like it was loud. Doesn't feel like it was loud.
It had a loud exhaust on it.
I don't remember. I thought it was a really.
Trust me, guys, it did because I missed my truck.
I thought it was a really nice truck.
Rest in peace, truck.
I didn't feel like it was he had to get rid of the truck when we had Nathan. Anyways,
well, I didn't have to get rid of it because of Nathan, because there's plenty of room in the truck for Nathan. But she needed a vehicle that was more reliable, family-wise. So that's what we did. My truck was it was too big for her to drive, and it was starting to get a couple little issues in the engine that I really didn't want to deal with. I'm a mechanic, but this would have been like thousands of dollars worth of work, and that's not even counting the labor. So it was time to just get cut and dry and get rid of it, and get something a lot easier and a lot more manageable for her to drive with the kids. So that's why that truck is now gone. But no, when I first met her, everything that she said online was perfect to a T. She was exactly who she said she was. I wasn't surprised there. She had a great personality, and I loved every bit of her. I still do till today. Nothing has changed. Still love every inch of this woman. And it only does get better.
Yeah.
It does.
Is there anything else? I don't know. I don't know if we're missing.
I think we're covering all bases. I mean, we learn about what each other love to eat the most. Famous Dave's.
Yeah, I loved Famous Dave's. Did we even get food that day?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I'm so bad.
No, wait.
We had to, because I'm a big foodie.
I think we got Famous Dave's that day.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that was the first meal we had was Famous Dave's together.
So?
Yeah. Yeah, we got Famous Dave's that day. The actual date that we first met each other in person, because, we've been talking for weeks talking to each other before we actually met. But the actual date was February 18th, 2011. That was the first day that I met this beautiful and amazing woman. Went on an interesting date and really got to know each other.
Yeah. At the time too, man, we lived like 45 minutes away from each other.
Yeah, it was at least 45 minutes. It was quite a drive.
So yeah, we lived about 45 minutes away from each other.
Yeah, it was about 45 minutes, and at the time, you didn't even really have a vehicle or a license at all yet.
No.
We went through all that together.
We went through a lot together.
Yeah, we got our first car. We got our license. I was doing all the driving. I was driving every day to come see her. I used to pick her up from work, so I'd actually get there early.
Yeah, I used to work at Forever 21, y'all. Oh, I loved it. I loved
She did love her job.
I love my job. I love fashion. I also used to work at Victoria's Secret as well. So I'm not new at all to the retail world. So
nope.
love that.
So I'd actually get there early, and I'd be sitting on the couches in the bottom floor of the mall where they had couches for people to sit and relax. I'd be sitting there for about an hour waiting for her to get off work, just
to hang out.
just to spend as much time as we could together. Take her, get some dinner, and then hang out as long as possible until we had to split our ways.
I honestly really did hate when we had to like separate.
Yeah.
And then after you left, like we'll be on the phone a lot, just talking or whatnot.
As soon as I would leave, I'd be on the phone with her. Like I'd get like halfway down the block and she'd be calling my phone.
I wouldn't call your phone lies. The man lying and nobody business. As soon as I can go down the block, I'll be calling him. He feeling himself for real. That man said as soon as he go down the block, no, it wasn't that serious.
Sorry, 2 miles away.
No.
But no, we'd be back on the phone. Most of the time by the time I get home, I'd call her, let her know I made it home, and we'd stay on the phone for another couple hours. So yeah, it was a struggle. It really was a struggle.
So we know a little bit about long distance relationship, just a little bit.
Yeah.
And how complicated that can be.
It does make it rough, but we made it through. We did.
And yeah, we're still trying. Just trying our best in this
living our lives.
Living our lives and just living this thing called life. No, I know a lot of people constantly ask. We're not
married.
We're not married.
Not yet.
Okay.
That is happening though. We will be getting married. Just
when?
Not right this second.
When we are not giving out any.
Nope.
Dates.
Sorry, no spoilers.
So yeah, but that's something y'all can look forward to.
Yep.
By God's grace, everything
will fall into plan the way it should be.
Right now, just enjoying each other, enjoying our children, and just living life to the fullest. Trying to live life to the fullest, anyways.
Yep.
You know, when you got kids, a little bit harder, but you know,
we still have fun though.
We do, as you guys see in the vlogs, we do. So.
Exactly. I go off their personality. And she had a great personality. She was very bubbly, full of life, and she still is till today. She is, lots of things have been going on. We're getting kind of tired, but she's still bubbly, full of life. And just as the day I met her, she surprises the heck out of me from time to time. All of a sudden, she'll just be all hyper and bubbly and just going all out and just having a great time. And that's one thing I love about this.
Gotta enjoy life, man.
That's what I love about this one.
In the littlest things, you gotta find,
happiness.
You gotta find happiness in the smallest things,
So,
regardless if they're big or if they're small, you gotta try to find happiness. So,
that's what I went off of. Her personality and who she was. And that's why I was so excited when I actually started talking to her on the phone and how she was acting on the phone. I got very excited. I was very happy when I first met her.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. I feel like some people...
Cry, baby.
Well, because I feel like some people don't understand, I've known pain. I know what it's like to feel pain. And I like to be happy. And I like to be silly. And I like to be goofy. I know lately you guys haven't been seeing a lot of that in the videos.
It'll change.
I've just been a little drained. Just working hard with the children and just honestly just trying to figure out myself out too over the years. I feel like I've kind of lost myself a little bit, so just trying to figure myself out.
And I gotta tell you guys, she spends a lot of nights staying up, and I go to work, so I go to sleep. I try to get as much sleep as I can, and I stay up as long as I possibly can too. But I gotta say, she puts a lot of work in these children, and she really does a lot of work in these videos too. She does all the editing, and she stays up long nights. There's times that she's still up by the time I wake up to go to work. So it's right that she's drained. She's tired. She's really been putting a lot of work in, and I know sometimes it may seem like I don't appreciate you enough, but I really do, baby. I really appreciate everything you do. You are a very amazing woman.
Thank you.
And I love you. And now I got lipstick.
My people, that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, there's nothing really spectacular. And if you guys heard any craziness going in the back, that's our kids. We got children, you know.
Can't do nothing about it.
They're kids. They're boys, and they're hyperactive and all that.
Exactly.
So if you guys heard a lot of noise in the background, it was the children. So I just had to put that out there. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You know, once again, it's nothing spectacular. No, not a crazy story. That's just how we met, and we've been together ever since, my people.
Yeah.
So
it's not this huge romantic love story. Oh, I met her on a beautiful beach. We sailed away in the sunset. Hell no, that wasn't how it happened. But
no,
you know what?
This is reality, and I'm sure this is how it is for most people.
Yeah.
We're just real. This is how it is for most people.
Real.
This is how it is for most people. Not a lot of people have those magical moments or whatever you call it. It's not like that. Life is not a fairy tale.
No.
And we're a proven fact. So.
But we're still trying to get our happily ever after. No matter what it takes.
Alright, my people. That is it for everybody who have been wondering, everyone who's been asking. I don't know, we're trying to just make sure we're putting everything we wanted to put out here in the video. It's kind of hard to try to remember everything to give you guys all this information.
God, there's really not much else. I mean, we've covered everything. I don't know if there's really much else we could really say. And not that we can't say anything else. There's just nothing else to say.
There's nothing really like spectacular, nothing crazy.
And sometimes that just makes for the best relationship. Sometimes spectacular, spontaneous, relationships just they don't work. We were able to figure each other out before we even met. To a point, we already knew each other. And that was great. I loved it. I ain't gonna lie. I loved the fact that I got to talk to you all those nights.
Yeah. It makes it more exciting.
For the first time you actually meet.
And I feel like even when you, even if you meet someone in person too, I feel like just taking that time to really talk to each other is really nice, especially if you have busy schedules. That's it, my people.
That is it. That is us in a nutshell.
But thank you guys so much for watching this video.
If you have any questions, comment below. Ask away.
Alright.
We're open book.
That is it, my people. Yeah, thank you for watching. Yeah, bye.
Bye, everybody.